To me, the Panthers, I know it was a loss. You didn't expect them to beat Cincinnati, did you? Not a Bengals team that has Super Bowl aspirations and started 0-3. Cincinnati was never losing this game. But I do think if you're a Panthers fan, you take out of this, hey, we look like a representative outfit that looks like we belong in the National Football League. The offense looks credible. The defense clearly compromised without Shaq Thompson and Josie Jewell, who I think were lost on the same drive. You already didn't have Derek Brown, but I think a good showing for Carolina. Not to be moral victory, because it's not a moral victory, but I think you can be excited about at least the coaching staff and how it looks going forward. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. Did I silver lining that up enough?
Yeah. I think I always texted my buddy Matt Gray during Panthers games on Sunday, and he sent me a note yesterday. He's like, at least it's watchable. And I think that's sort of that's sort of the thing where we've done these hits on every Monday for like the past, I don't know, however many years.
Lots.
And last year, I always enjoy talking to you, Gold, but I didn't really want to talk about the Panthers.
Right. No, I get it.
It's like I didn't watch. I don't know. They suck, and I'm not watching them. It was unwatchable. First 2 weeks were unwatchable.
Yeah.
Week 3, of course, the win against the Raiders. Great performance from Andy Dalton. Came back to earth a little bit against the Bengals, which you worry about to a degree because that Bengals defense is really, really bad. But I just think in general, the offense has just having it look functional.
Yeah.
And I was excited for that game. I was like, I want to see. I think it's going to be a shootout. It turned out to be a shootout. You got lots of points. Deontay Johnson, 13 targets, 7 catches, 83 yards and a score. Xavier Legette get his first touchdown. It makes you believe that there are some pieces there where this could be they're not going to win a bunch of games right now, but it makes you feel like the direction maybe is a little closer to something functional than the way it felt through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, look, beginning of the season, I said, I'm laying the bar on the ground. I just want you to look like an NFL team. I don't expect you to win a lot of games. So to me, yes, it was great week 3 to get the win. Raiders probably quit, but whatever. Yesterday against the team that still believes it can get to a Super Bowl, whether that's true or not, I never thought they were going to win the game, but I thought that they could make it a game, and they did. They don't look like they need to be relegated, which is really all I was asking for them. I also think that who knows what's going to happen next year. Chuba Hubbard looks like a guy. I'm not suggesting that the Panthers trade Chuba Hubbard in a few weeks, but I am curious, when is Jonathan Brooks going to be ready to play? And if I were the Panthers and somebody really needed a running back, I would make Chuba Hubbard available to that team if they so wanted.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you get back for Chuba, right? He's looked really good the last 2 weeks, and I loved him coming out of college. And I think he's the type of player that is, here's my thing on Jonathan Brooks. If you're 1-3, are you sure that you want to?
Oh, you want to just redshirt him this year?
Sort of.
You could.
He's coming off the ACL.
Right.
You're at the Bears, Falcons, at the Commanders, at the Broncos. Now, those 4 games are kind of winnable.
All except for the one in Washington.
Right. Against
We're going to get to
Washington
that.
Commanders.
Yes.
And then you have the Saints and the Giants. I'm just saying there's 6 games here where if I'm taking it where if we go through the next 4 or 5 weeks and if I'm the Panthers and we don't win, I guess he's eligible to come back whenever. But I'm not rushing him back out there.
That's fine.
and like letting him get injured in what is a lost season when you're just adding wear and tear. But I mean, I think it would be good to see him out there, especially if he looks good. I just think I'm probably not trading Chuba because I don't want to give Jonathan Brooks too many carries.
Well, I think the first thing you said is the most important. It really depends on what you could get for him, because I just don't think they're going to pay him. I mean, he's going to get, if he stays healthy, he's going to go for well over 1,000 yards this year. Right?
Shaq Thompson tore his Achilles on Sunday.
I mean, we kind of knew that was a devastating injury. I haven't seen any report on Josie Jewell, but you're now missing your two starting inside linebackers.
The defense is in shambles. Yeah. Like you're not stopping anybody for the rest of the season.
No, and you know what? This season to me was never about the defense. It was about making the offense look functional. I was hoping that would be with Bryce Young. It clearly is not going to be. But they have a young Andy Dalton. So let's now let's get to the Washington Commandos. They look like they might be, like, I don't think they're great, but I don't think there's anybody in that division who's great. Washington could surprise that entire division. They could win that, Will.
Yeah, sure. Eagles are like, well, so what was it? I saw the joke. Is like Jalen Hurts with Saquon Barkley and a couple of bad receivers. Looks like Daniel Jones. It's not wrong. Like, you lose those receivers. I always argued that I thought the Eagles might struggle early on in this season because of all the changeover that they had on this roster with the coaching staff. That's been the case. The Giants, don't look like a particularly good team. By the way, they played 2 games at MetLife Stadium this weekend, 2 NFL games, and not one touchdown was scored by the home teams. That's something. Way to go, Jets and Giants. And then the Cowboys are, took care of business against the Giants, but I don't think anybody thinks they're a surefire contender. So the biggest surprise for Washington has been the offensive line.
Yes.
They've done a great job run blocking. The pass protection has been really good for Jaden Daniels. And the feeling that you have as a Commanders fan right now is what you wanted to have last year as a Panthers fan, which was, okay, we got a quarterback. Like if we win a bunch of games this year, gravy.
Right.
But I don't think the defense is that good. I thought they played. That was a revenge game for Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff's called. Did you see that Dan Quinn in the locker room afterwards?
No, I did not.
He goes, no one's leaving this bleeping. He's like, this bleeping guy isn't leaving this bleeping city without a game ball. And like everybody went nuts. He's like, Cliff, and like everyone went crazy. He's like still being paid by the Cardinals and beat their fannies.
He wasn't very good for the Cardinals. He was awful.
It's interesting. He wasn't very good, I didn't think, as a play caller the first 2 weeks of the season this year. Really horizontal raid, like Terry McLaurin not getting involved enough, leading him on the left side too much. And then the last 2 weeks, they really sort of opened up the offense. I wonder if Dan Quinn said something or, if there was whatever it was. But Jaden Daniels looks incredible.
Yep, he does.
He's the first rookie quarterback in NFL history with maybe the first quarterback in NFL history with back-to-back games of 85% completions or more. The Commanders scored 30-plus points in back-to-back games for the first time since 2017 and scored 40-plus for the first time since 2016. I mean, this is a team that's hadn't been very good for a while. Has had a couple spike years with Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin, but you don't want to jump the gun after 4 games. But Jaden Daniels, we saw what he was at LSU, and it's carried over through the first 4 weeks of the season. I think his completion percentage of 82.1 is the highest by any NFL quarterback through the first 4 games of the season since Tom Brady in 2007. That's crazy. The perfect Patriots season. If they keep blocking and doing what they're doing, and Jaden Daniels stays healthy, he runs a good amount. That's concerning for sure. Terry McLaurin's looked good. I think Noah Brown, sneaky second option there. Zach Ertz, the ageless Zach Ertz, and then Luke McCaffrey kind of doing some nice things as well. This offense is going to score a bunch of points, and I think they're going to be in a bunch of shootouts because the defense to me is still not absolutely great. But yeah, why not go win the NFC East? Good for
people who have Terry McLaurin on their fantasy team.
By the way, I would just say this too, like real quickly. Sorry, but people like to make jokes about the 28-3 Super Bowl and all that. I mean, Dan Quinn got the Falcons to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Dan Quinn has done some good stuff already with Washington in his first year, and the Cowboys defense has completely cratered without Dan Quinn. Like, I think Dan Quinn is a really good coach.
I agree with you. And he is injected also, like, I don't want to say they're the same because Dan Quinn is a big, crazy white guy with a goatee, but he's got a little Dan Campbell in terms of the energy he has instilled in his team.
Yeah, he's like Dan Campbell meets Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways. There's no doubt about it. All right, to another, like if we're listing off the great stories of this year, are the Minnesota Vikings really 4-0, and is Sam Darnold one of the best stories in the league so far? I know he turned it over a couple of times again. You're going to get that with Sam. Sam is I think he has to turn it over in order to be successful. But the Vikings are 4-0.
Are you sponsored by a particular sports book? I don't want to name one.
I mean, well, okay, I am, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. I mean,
which one is it?
FanDuel.
Okay.
FanDuel.
I have a different one open, but I was just going to note that Sam Darnold currently 5th in the MVP odds.
Yeah.
Not sure it shouldn't be higher. He's played better than Patrick Mahomes has this year.
Right.
Right. I mean, look, Sam Darnold is a number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
He was drafted by a Jets team that was absolutely not prepared to drop a quarterback onto the roster and have him succeed by virtue of the coaching and the offensive line and the weapons they had and just the general dysfunction that is the Jets. He gets traded to the Panthers for a second round pick. I think at the time, all right, maybe there's enough here. We didn't realize it. The Panthers, not prepared for a quarterback to flourish at all. Clearly, we've seen that. And now you have a situation where Sam Darnold, after sitting on the bench with Kyle Shanahan for a year, goes to Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion, I've said this for 3 straight weeks, and I'm going to keep hammering it home, is a top 5 NFL coach in the league right now. He is unbelievable. He gets the most out of it. He's a quarterback whisperer. And Sam Darnold's playing great football for the Vikings. The offense is clicking. Yeah. Brian Flores is a wizard on defense. And coaching matters in the NFL, and it matters a ton for the Vikings right now. They are legit. Like, they are just good. And I don't think Sam Darnold's – I really don't think when you watch him, he's not going to turn into a pumpkin. It's just sometimes we saw it with Rich Gannon and John Gruden. We saw it with Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians. And we might be seeing it with Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, where sometimes it takes a certain coaching matchup for a quarterback, a highly drafted quarterback or any quarterback really, to flourish in a way that we thought they might when they were first entered the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Darnold's always had a great arm and great natural raw ability. Again, I don't think he's got a super. This is going to sound like I'm calling him dumb. I'm not. I don't think he's a super smart quarterback, but I do think he's got physical tools, and if he's coached well, you can definitely win with him. And the Vikings look like a legit threat.
And by the way, they've got Aaron Jones has been a fantastic free agent signing this offseason. He's run the ball really, really well. Ty Chandler gives him a second weapon because they know Jones has been hurt in the past. Justin Jefferson is probably the best receiver in football.
He is.
I'm Malik Neighbors number 2, maybe. And then you have Jordan Addison, who looks like he's probably not likely to be suspended this year. And TJ Hawkinson's coming back. And Jalen Naylor's been good for them as a third option. This team is kind of stacked.
All right, let me ask a couple of, at least one more thing, and then maybe we'll stray from football for 1 second. So you mentioned that the Jets also did not score a touchdown. They kicked 3 field goals. I think the Giants kicked 5. Giants beat the Jets. Is that about Denver, or is that about the Jets? Maybe offensive line, maybe play calling, maybe Rodgers. I mean, 9 points on the Broncos is bad. They missed a field goal that would have won it late, but the Broncos had just missed a field goal that would have forced the Jets to score a touchdown. That was pretty bad on New York's part.
you can't be like asked to be taken seriously as a contender and lose at home without scoring a touchdown to Bo Nix when he throws for 60 yards.
Right.
Like that's as bad a loss as it gets. You're Nathaniel Hackett. You've been fired from Denver after 1 year.
Yeah.
You're replaced by Sean Payton. Sean Payton openly like thrashes you to the public. Rodgers comes out and defends him. So there's like bad blood on both sides here. And the Broncos got revenge on Hackett.
They did.
Somehow.
They absolutely did. All right, Will Brinson, I'm surprised you're not wearing an Atlanta Braves hat. Your Braves, my Mets,
I got a Ronald Acuna bat behind me.
Oh, do you?
I got a Braves hat. Yeah. Signed Ronald Acuna bat that I got after the World Series.
Very nice.
You know what a World Series is? Yeah, it's winning a World Series. How about that, huh? I'm just kidding.
Did we really go there?
No.
Did we really go there? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's whatever. I think we're tied. We each have 2, right?
Yeah, I think that this is I think that this is like an interesting test case for hatred of rivalries, because if the Mets and the Braves tie these 2 games, or like one, they both go to the playoffs.
Right.
Like, I understand you want to go out there and compete and everything, but just like, I don't know, just everybody whiffed the first game, then everybody whiffed the second game.
So
flop side.
When the Braves win game 1 of this doubleheader today, and the first one starts just after 1 o'clock, when the Braves win game 1, will they be petty and start Chris Sale in game 2 just to keep the Mets out of the playoffs, which I would be here for? It would be hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for that as well, because it would be hysterical. It would also be really, really stupid, because they're like, they play this doubleheader, and by the way, this is, I mean, I get that this is the new system or whatever, but then like, when they go to the 3-game, when did the 3-game wildcard series start?
A few years ago.
Sale wouldn't be,
I dig it. I like it. I dig
Sale. No, I like it, but I'm saying like Sale wouldn't be available.
Right. They would not do it. But whoever wins game 1, they're gonna play a bunch of guys with like number 67 on the back of their uniforms in
like,
game
like
2.
Whoever wins game 1, you smash the money line on the other team for game 2.
But you're gonna have to smash it, because it'll be like minus 280.
Yeah, play the run line.
Something like that. Will Brinson, all right, my friend, I will talk to you next week. Take care. Good luck. Not
all right,
really.
Buddy. See you, man. Bye.